You stand at a crossroads right now. Perhaps you've found yourself in situations where you've compromised your values, accepted less than you deserve, or allowed others to diminish your worth. Maybe you've been seeking approval in all the wrong places, bending yourself into shapes that don't fit your true nature. The ancient Stoics understood this struggle intimately, and they left us a blueprint for reclaiming our dignity that remains as powerful today as it was 2,000 years ago. Your worth isn't something that needs to be earned or proven to anyone. It exists within you as a fundamental truth, rooted in your capacity for reason and your ability to choose virtue. Think about this deeply. You possess the same rational faculty that has driven humanity's greatest achievements. You have within you the power to discern right from wrong, to make choices aligned with wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. This isn't arrogance, it's recognition of the divine spark of reason that makes you uniquely human. When you understand that your worth comes from your character and your choices rather than your achievements or others' opinions, you begin to build on solid ground. The Stoics taught that self-respect isn't vanity or pride, it's the natural result of living according to your principles. Every time you choose to act with integrity, even when no one is watching, you reinforce the foundation of your dignity. Every moment you resist the temptation to compromise your values for temporary gain, you strengthen the architecture of your character. Consider how you've been measuring your importance until now. Have you been looking to social media likes, professional titles, relationship status, or bank account numbers? These external markers create a house of cards. When you tie your self-worth to things outside your control, you become vulnerable to every shift in the wind. A criticism devastates you, a rejection crushes you, a failure makes you question everything about yourself. This is the trap of external validation. It makes you a slave to circumstances and other people's whims. The Stoic path offers you freedom from this exhausting cycle. When you anchor your sense of importance in your own rational choices and virtuous actions, you become unshakable. You can lose your job, but not your integrity. Others can reject you, but they cannot take away your commitment to justice. Circumstances can challenge you, but they cannot rob you of your wisdom. This is true power, the kind that no one can give you and no one can take away. Start recognizing your value through simple daily practices. Each morning, remind yourself of 3 choices you made yesterday that aligned with your values, no matter how small. Did you tell the truth when a lie would have been easier? Did you show patience when frustration beckoned? Did you choose kindness when indifference would have sufficed? These choices matter. They are the building blocks of a life that commands respect first from yourself, then naturally from others. When you find yourself seeking approval, pause and ask, what would the best version of myself do in this situation? Not the version trying to impress someone, not the version afraid of judgment, but the version living fully aligned with wisdom and virtue. This question becomes your North Star, guiding you away from self-diminishment and toward self-respect. You must also learn to distinguish between feedback that helps you grow and criticism that merely reflects others' limitations. When someone offers genuine insight that can help you become more virtuous, receive it with gratitude. But when others try to diminish you out of their own insecurity or agenda, recognize it for what it is: their problem, not yours. Your worth isn't up for debate or negotiation. The power of choosing your responses over being reactive cannot be overstated. Between every stimulus and your response lies a space, a moment of choice that defines who you are. When someone treats you poorly, you have options. You can react from wounded pride, you can shrink in submission, or you can respond from a place of centered strength. The Stoic choice is always the third option. You maintain your dignity not through aggression or passivity, but through conscious, principled action. This doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent. It means recognizing that your emotional well-being isn't at the mercy of others' behavior. When you truly understand this, something remarkable happens. You stop taking things personally. You stop needing others to validate your existence. You stop lowering yourself to meet others where they are, and instead you stand firm in your values, inviting them to rise to meet you. Your journey to never lowering yourself again begins with this fundamental shift in perspective. You are not important because of what you achieve, whom you know, or what others think of you. You are important because you are a rational being capable of choosing virtue in each moment. This is your birthright, your unassailable dignity, your foundation. From this foundation, everything else flows. Your relationships improve because you no longer accept treatment that doesn't honor your worth. Your work becomes more meaningful because you pursue it from a place of purpose rather than desperation for validation. Your daily life transforms because each choice becomes an opportunity to express your highest self rather than seek approval from others. This is where your journey begins, not in some distant future when you've achieved certain goals, but right here, right now, in this moment of recognition. You have always been important. The question is, are you ready to start living like it? Now that you've recognized your inherent worth, it's time to build the fortress that will protect it. Standards aren't restrictions, they're the architecture of a life lived with intention. When you set boundaries based on Stoic principles, you're not building walls to keep others out. You're creating sacred space where your values can flourish undisturbed. Your standards begin with a fundamental question: what will you accept in your life and what will you refuse to tolerate? The Stoics understood that without clear boundaries, you become a leaf blown by every wind of opinion, every demand, every manipulation. But with firm standards rooted in virtue, you become like a mountain, immovable, majestic and commanding natural respect. Start by examining where you've been flexible when you should have been firm. Where have you said yes when your inner wisdom screamed no? Where have you allowed others to cross lines that should have been inviolable? These aren't failures, they're lessons that illuminate where your boundaries need strengthening. Each compromise taught you something valuable about what you will never accept again. The discipline of desire transformed your entire relationship with the world. Right now, you might want countless things outside your control: others' approval, specific outcomes, guarantees of success, perfect circumstances. This wanting makes you weak. It puts your happiness in hands other than your own. The Stoic discipline teaches you to desire only what is truly yours: your choices, your responses, your commitment to virtue, your inner peace. When you master this discipline, something profound shifts. You stop chasing shadows and start building substance. You no longer need that person to text you back to feel valued. You don't require that promotion to know you're successful. You don't need perfect conditions to begin living excellently. This isn't about becoming emotionless. It's about placing your emotional investment where it can actually yield returns in your own character development. Maintaining composure when faced with disrespect or manipulation becomes possible only when you understand a crucial truth: others' behavior reflects their character, not your worth. When someone attempts to manipulate you, they reveal their own poverty of spirit. When someone disrespects you, they announce their own lack of wisdom. Your task isn't to convince them of your value, it's to respond in a way that honors your own standards. Picture this: someone speaks to you with contempt, trying to provoke a reaction. Your untrained self might lash out or shrink away, but your Stoic self recognizes this as an opportunity to practice virtue. You respond with measured calm, neither aggressive nor passive, but assertively grounded in your principles. You might say, "I understand you're upset, but I don't accept being spoken to this way. When you're ready to have a respectful conversation, I'm here." Then you follow through, removing yourself if necessary, without drama or vindictiveness. This is where negative visualization becomes your secret weapon. Each day, spend a few moments imagining challenging scenarios. See yourself being criticized unfairly. Visualize someone trying to manipulate you. Picture situations where your boundaries might be tested. But here's the key. Don't just imagine these scenarios. Imagine yourself responding with perfect Stoic composure. See yourself maintaining your standards without wavering. Feel the strength of standing firm in your principles. This practice isn't pessimism, it's preparation. When you've already rehearsed your response to disrespect, you won't be caught off guard when it appears. When you've visualized maintaining your boundaries under pressure, you'll find the strength to do so in reality. The Stoics called this premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, and it's one of the most powerful tools for building unshakable resolve. Your personal code of conduct becomes the practical expression of your standards. This isn't a vague intention to be better. It's a specific set of principles that guide your daily actions. Write them down, make them clear, let them be your constitution. Your code might include principles like, I speak truth even when silence would be easier. I treat others with respect but accept nothing less in return. I take responsibility for my mistakes without accepting blame for others' choices. I pursue excellence in my work regardless of recognition. I maintain my composure even in chaos. These aren't just words, they're commitments that shape every interaction, every decision, every moment of your day. When you live by this code, you elevate not just your own life, but the lives of everyone around you. Your standards become a silent invitation for others to rise. Your boundaries teach people how to treat you. Your composure in the face of chaos becomes a beacon of stability for those lost in their own storms. But remember, building unshakable standards isn't about perfection. You'll have moments of weakness, times when you bend where you meant to stand firm. The Stoic path isn't about never failing, it's about returning to your principles with renewed commitment each time you stray. Every day offers a fresh opportunity to live according to your standards, regardless of yesterday's lapses. Your standards also mean knowing when to walk away. Not every situation deserves your energy. Not every person deserves access to your life. The Stoics taught that associating with those who don't share your commitment to virtue can erode your own progress. This isn't arrogance, it's wisdom. You wouldn't drink poison just to be polite. Why would you accept toxic behavior to avoid seeming difficult? As you build these standards, you'll notice resistance both from within and without. Your old self will whisper that you're being too rigid, too demanding. Others might call you difficult or say you've changed. Good. You have changed. You've evolved from someone who accepted whatever was offered to someone who knows their worth and protects it fiercely. This is the heart of never lowering yourself again, not just knowing your worth, but actively defending it through lived standards. Every boundary you set, every desire you discipline, every moment of composure you maintain in the face of disrespect, every visualization that strengthens your resolve, every action aligned with your code, these are the stones with which you build an unshakable life. And from this foundation of standards, you're ready to master the ultimate Stoic achievement, your inner citadel. You've discovered your inherent worth and built unshakable standards. Now comes the culmination of your journey, the creation of your inner citadel, that sacred fortress within you that no external force can breach. This is where you become truly unconquerable, not through aggression or isolation, but through the mastery of your own mind and spirit. Your inner citadel is the deepest part of you, the core that remains untouched by external circumstances. While the world rages with its storms of opinion, criticism, and chaos, this inner sanctuary remains calm. While others try to pull you down to their level, this fortress keeps you elevated. It's not a place you retreat to in weakness. It's the command center from which you engage with the world from a position of strength. Think of the greatest challenges you've faced. In those moments when everything seemed to conspire against you, there was still a part of you that remained unbroken. That's your inner citadel. It's the voice that whispers, "I can handle this," when everything else screams defeat. It's the strength that emerges when you have nothing left but your character. This citadel has always been there. Now you're learning to consciously inhabit and fortify it. Every obstacle that appears in your path is not a barrier, but building material for your inner fortress. When someone betrays your trust, you don't become bitter, you become wiser about where to place your faith. When you face rejection, you don't diminish yourself, you recognize it as redirection towards something more aligned with your values. When you encounter failure, you don't see defeat, you see data for your next attempt. This transformation of obstacles into opportunities isn't toxic positivity or denial, it's the practical application of Stoic wisdom. You acknowledge the difficulty, feel the appropriate emotions, but then you ask the crucial question, how can this serve my growth? Every challenge becomes a teacher, every setback becomes a setup for comeback, every closed door reveals a window you hadn't noticed before. The art of selective association becomes crucial in protecting your inner citadel. You must become intentional about who has access to your mental and emotional space. This isn't about becoming a hermit or thinking yourself superior to others. It's about recognizing that your inner peace is precious and not everyone deserves the power to disturb it. Evaluate your relationships with clear eyes. Who in your life consistently supports your growth toward virtue? Who challenges you to be better while respecting your journey? These people earn closer access to your inner world. But those who consistently drain your energy, undermine your progress, or disrespect your boundaries, they remain outside the walls of your citadel. You can interact with them when necessary, but they don't get to influence your inner state. Your mental space requires the same protection as your physical space. You wouldn't let strangers rearrange your home. Why let random opinions rearrange your mind? You wouldn't allow someone to dump garbage in your living room. Why allow them to dump negativity in your thoughts? This selective association extends to what you read, watch, and consume. Every input either strengthens or weakens your citadel. Choose wisely. Daily practices become the maintenance routine for your emotional sovereignty. Begin each morning with a moment of reflection, reminding yourself that today, no matter what happens, your inner peace is non-negotiable. Throughout the day, when you feel your emotional state being hijacked by external events, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, is my peace worth sacrificing for this? Evening reflection completes the cycle. Review your day not with judgment, but with curiosity. Where did you maintain your sovereignty? Where did you allow external forces to breach your walls? What can you learn for tomorrow? This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Each day you practice, your citadel grows stronger. Living with purpose and intention becomes the ultimate expression of your self-importance. When you know why you're here, when you're clear about your mission, petty distractions lose their power over you. Your purpose doesn't have to be grandiose. It might be as simple as being a beacon of integrity in a world of compromise, or raising children who understand their own worth, or creating beauty that elevates the human spirit. Whatever your purpose, pursue it with the full force of your being. Let every action align with this greater intention. When you're tempted to lower yourself, remember your purpose. When others try to distract you with drama or pull you into their chaos, remember your purpose. Your purpose becomes the flag flying high above your inner citadel, visible from great distances, declaring who you are and what you stand for. This purposeful living transforms how you show up in the world. You stop needing to announce your importance because it radiates from your very being. You stop seeking validation because you're too busy validating your own existence through meaningful action. You stop lowering yourself because you're too focused on rising to meet your potential. As you master your inner citadel, you'll discover something remarkable. True importance isn't about being above others, it's about being above your former self. It's about becoming so rooted in your own virtue, so secure in your own worth, so committed to your own growth that external attempts to diminish you become irrelevant. You are now equipped with everything you need to never lower yourself again. You understand your inherent worth through reason and virtue. You've built unshakable standards that protect this worth. And now you've mastered the inner citadel that makes you truly unconquerable. Remember this, every moment offers you a choice. You can react from fear, seek approval from scarcity, or lower yourself from insecurity. Or you can respond from your citadel, the place of unshakable strength within you where your true importance resides. The choice is always yours. Your journey doesn't end here. It begins anew each day, with each decision, with each interaction. But now you walk this path not as someone hoping to become important, but as someone who knows they already are. You walk as someone who will never again trade their dignity for acceptance, their values for approval, or their inner peace for external validation. Stand tall, stand firm, stand in the full power of who you are. The world needs people who refuse to lower themselves, who live from their inner citadel, who demonstrate through their very existence that there's another way to be. You are one of those people now. Live accordingly.